Hey, what's up, world? So man, I had to turn my phone sideways, I guess, so I could get better view on my videos. But ultimately, what I wanted to come to was, I think it's called cognitive dissonance. It's where you try to explain things to people, and for whatever reason, their belief system, their upbringing, moral character, just who they are as a person, you can't get them to understand there's a different reality other than the reality that they've been introduced to. So back to my whole statement of there's no such thing as black people, there's no such thing as white people. You know, you have people with melanin, different forms of melanin, and different people or different groups of people who have different forms of albinism. So I mean, I don't really know where I'm going, but I guess it's the only way for me to document, or not the only way for me to document, but I'd like to share my thoughts with other people who may have these same thoughts. By no means can one individual be racist. I'm not, being a bigot. I'm not being racist. I just know I'm waking up to a different reality other than what I was taught. And I mean, there's tons of scientific information to support exactly what I believe is going on, other than what this false narrative of reality is that we share. Um, I believe that there's only one type of people on this planet. With those people would be human beings, and I could be wrong, and I'm still researching. But as of now, I know that you have people who have different amounts of melanin and people who have different forms of albinism. So there is no such thing as black people or white people. You just have people with melanin and people without melanin. And when you start to find out more about the genetic makeup of green eyes, blue eyes, skin with no melanin, these would be considered genetic defects to the same uh, point of being bow leg or pigeon toed or having dimples. These are all genetic defects. So having blue eyes, having green eyes is a genetic defect. But because we've been told that a certain group of people are white or a certain group of people are black, we can't actually see the truth in what's going on. And it's pretty sad, but I understand that here in the United States of America that we live in a controlled paradigm where curriculum is controlled. And I believe it's by the Koch brothers and maybe the Rockefellers. And I could dig a little bit deeper into it. And for now, I'm just really speaking. But yeah, there is no such thing as black people. There is no such thing as white people. You should look up these terms. Always look up the etymology of words, which is the root origin of words. And I think like we live in a time now where people are just like, oh, well, black doesn't mean black to me, or, the N word doesn't mean what it used to mean. But the thing is this whoever created the word, the vibration of the word, the comprising of the letters in the 26 letter alphabet to create these frequencies of what we call words is totally controlled. And I mean, I don't know which direction I'm going in with this yet, but I know that I will continuously make videos until I further investigate and find out what is truly going on. So when you go to India and you look up the Dravidians or the North, the people who live in the northern regions of India, and you start to see the people with forms of albinism there, these people don't look as though they have albinism. They look like the people that we would call, or we've been told, are white people. You know what I mean? But there is no such thing as black people or white people. When you see an albino of what would be called black descent, or something that they would call African descent or black descent, you can look at the facial features, the hair, the nose, the lips, and tell that this person would naturally be a melanated person, but they've had a mutation in their genes causing them to be void of melanin. When you look at people in so-called Asia, and well, I have to take that back because I guess India would be a part of Asia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan. A lot of these stand places are would be considered Asian. So there's a lot of misnomers and of not understanding. I don't know if that's right, but when you really start to dig deep and not just listen to what other people are saying to you, or just go with what feels good to you, but continuously to dig and dive and delve deeper into the subject matter, then you come to find out that there's only one type of people on this planet, and that there are people. There are no such thing as white people or black people or Asians or any, like, we're all the same people. You just have people who have different forms of oculocutaneous albinism, which affects the skin and the eyes. So as you start to dig deeper into this, then you start to find out that there's so many different mutations within this spectrum of genetics that control, the color of your skin, the color of your eyes, the color of your hair. So when you look at different forms of albinism, there's not really much out there that helps support the truth of what you can see for yourself. It kind of goes against what we've been taught, which is, to me, is kind of wrong. So I don't know. I mean, there's so much that I really want to expound upon, but I don't want to get too lost. Really, just speaking. And my videos are not to upset anyone. I would have to say everybody is not 100% of what they think they may be or what they think they are. I'm just, these things are constantly on my mental plate, and I'm constantly trying to figure these things out. And I feel as though if it's just a few people who truly understand, then fine, so be it. I know the cognitive dissonance is going to make people say, oh, well, we're not genetic defect. We are these people. We come from this place, and we come. But here in the United States, this country was founded on white supremacy, racism, and things have never changed. There's no fair and just system for everybody. We don't all get a fair shake at what's going on. So then we have this thing which we would call the wall of silence, where the so-called good people say nothing about the people who are doing bad. And to me, it's just like the police and their blue wall of silence. There is no such thing as a good police officer. When I joined the United States Army, I understood what came with it. Just like when police officers join the police operation, they understand what comes with it. A good police officer will be considered one who turns in bad police officer. Because my thing is if you sit next to a person who's doing something bad every day and you have nothing to say about it, then you're just as evil as that person. And this is the environment in which we're living in, and people are still being profiled, probably on both sides. You know what I mean? I just can't speak for both perspectives because I'm a melanated person. I don't know. I'll continue to make these videos just to try to help myself have a little bit more clarity. And over time, I will get a little bit more in depth with my content, show some supporting documents. But to me, I feel as though if you're really truly searching, and this is what is constantly on your mind, or not constantly on your mind, but on your mind for the moment, then you will diligently look and be non-biased to yourself and trying to find the truth. So I mean, with that being said, I would say, enjoy your day, have a good one, and peace on your journey.